Merry Brewmas, everyone! To show my appreciation for the immense amount of support you've all given me in 2021, I wanted to do something special for you guys this holiday season. So, welcome to the 12 Days of Brewmas, where I'll be posting a Christmas-themed video every single day for 12 days straight, and at the end of the 12 days, I'll be picking 4 random subscribers to choose whatever they want from the Reddit Brew merch store. All you have to do to enter is be subscribed and comment a Christmas tree emoji in the comments below. I will also be donating all profit I earn from my merch store for the month of December to the food bank to help families in need in my area. But without further ado, let's merrily prance on into the JUSTNOMIL story. Christmas in Off-Brand Wonderland Part 2. Wouldn't you fucking know it? There were assigned seats in the living room. She taped little name cards against every chair and sofa and bench in the room. At least this time I was sitting next to my parents on one of the couches, under the huge Christmas tree decorated in the same weird apocalyptic style as the house, was a big pile of presents. Once everyone was settled with their much needed drinks, Hellmark made a big show of giving out gifts to everyone, announcing we were all going to open them one by one. Brother took the time to pull out the bottle of whiskey I had stashed in my bag, always do in case of emergency, and refilled his glass, mine and Sill's. It was the bomb on our agony. Of course, Hellmark insisted that we wait until the end because she had special gifts picked out for us. You have to wait till the end. I have something special for my new daughters and my new son. Her smile was wide as she looked at all of us in turn. This was the first time she had ever referred to any of us as her new children, and I don't think any of us knew how to react. Even brother, who always had some snarky remark ready for anything, was at a loss for words. Sister-in-law coughed into her wine, and my sister looked very uncomfortable. We have spent time with the in-laws on my brother's side, and a few of some of my cousin's side. And while we were always treated like family, it never went as far as being explicitly called their children. Being the sweet, summer child I was back then, I didn't take this as the big red flag that it was. These gifts were not in fact special, beyond being really weird. Brother and Sill got a pure silver platter with their last name plus Hellmark's family last name on it. I received expensive lipstick in a shade that I would never wear, and a Precious Moments figurine about family, which, despite being adorable, it was creepy in the moment. My parents received actually very nice crystal champagne glasses, though they were also engraved with both families' last names, and Sister and Bill received handmade baby clothes. All of us were confused, as we know that they were trying for a baby, but Sister told our mother just the other day that she had only stopped birth control that month. Hellmark was gushing, "Oh, I know you aren't pregnant yet, but I'm just so excited for when you will be. I can't wait to be a grandma again. It's so rewarding when you welcome little ones that have tiny bits of you in them." She placed her hand on my mother's, all smiles. "I bet you can't wait to be a grandma too. Can you?" My mom smiled and said, "Oh, it will be great. If all goes well, I should be one in a few months." And she looked over at Sill and beamed. A screeching owl flew in. Oh wait, no. That was just Hellmark screeching and what I assume was excitement, as she practically flew to Sill and immediately put her hands on her stomach. "Congratulations! Oh, I am so happy for you!" Sill, a not so tactful drunk, pushed Hellmark's hands off immediately. "No, I am not. We are hoping to adopt a little boy from Africa in the next few months. He will be our parents' first grandchild." Sill's lovely face was beaming in happiness. Hellmark, true to her name, gave a little laugh and waved it off in a way that makes me wonder if she hears a laugh track in her mind. "Oh, well that's very sweet of you, but why from Africa? It will be obvious that they aren't your real children. There are so many children in native Eastern European country that you could adopt." Guys, You know that moment in Game of Thrones where Bran is in the vision and the Night King turns to look at him and we were all like, holy shit? Well, multiply that feeling by 1,000 and you were close to being in the moment when Hellmark opened her stupid mouth. Now, my lovelies, I must tell you this one very important thing about my brother. It is extremely difficult to anger him. I've seen it happen maybe 3 times in my life, and it's unlike the anger of any person I had ever known. You see, snark is his default setting, and he can handle most situations, even those that annoy him, using the snark that is so heavily woven into the core of his being. When brother is angry, he doesn't get quiet, or especially loud. No, his snark switches to a level of absurd, borderline psychotic. His voice pitch never changes, but his sarcasm and snark meld into a dangerous melody that cuts a person to shreds. You sometimes read in books that someone's eyes flash in anger, but brother's eyes start glinting like a sharp knife. It is truly terrifying to watch, let alone be on the receiving end of it. He sets his glass on the table without a coaster. Take that, bitch. And you can almost see his anger rolling off him like heat waves. Dear God, you are right. They won't look like us. Of course they're not our real kids. I mean, everyone knows that having kids doesn't mean anything if you don't look alike. Man, guys, if looks could kill, Hellmark would have had the most painful death ever. Everyone went quiet. Even the family that didn't know what was going on, because brother has such a powerful presence about him. My dad, ever well-meaning, tried to stand up to defuse it, but my mother placed a hand on his arm and shook her head. It was too late. The damage was done. My brother wasn't done though, and had much more to say. Obviously, we will only be taking him in as a ward, which you are obviously familiar with, since that's the time period you seem to be living in. Syl and I will love this ward, and care for him, and teach him right and wrong. But no! Obviously that doesn't make us parents, just extremely good keepers. My parents will love him, but you know, not like a real grandchild, cause how can he be? He looks nothing like us. Normal people would have had the courtesy to backpedal and apologize, but being as this is JUSTNOMIL, we can all deduce that that's not what Hellmark did. No, she chose to shove her foot more in her mouth. I just mean that since you and Syl are both light-skinned, it would make sense to adopt a child that looks a little like you, since you can't do it naturally. The way Hellmark said it was like a logical and justifiable explanation. Like it's completely not even more offensive and wrong. Syl is a tough chick, but she was understandably very sensitive about not being able to get pregnant. While she is normally a very warm and fun person, when she's upset, she becomes stone cold. Her face was blank, posture stick straight and stiff. She was frozen like a statue of a Nordic goddess, which I knew at that point was what happened when she was trying to get control of her emotions. She had never been good at showing her emotions when she was upset. Brother, of course, noticed it through his haze of anger. In what world do you live in where it's okay to say that to anyone, let alone to a guest in your house that you called your daughter earlier? Which is a whole other bunch of crazy that I don't even want to get into. Who the hell do you think you are to say something like that to me and my wife? Brother still had not raised his voice, but with the quiet in the room, there was definitely a slight echo. Hellmark's plastered on smile looked more strained than ever. I don't think I'm saying anything wrong. We're all family here, and I'm just being honest for your own good. Bill piped up now, quietly saying, "Mom, stop it." It didn't matter, cause my brother was finished. He stood up, downed his glass, and set it on the table. "Yeah, I'm done. The food doesn't make up for dealing with this insanity. Syl, get your coat." My sister, red-faced and probably embarrassed from both sides, stood up and started in on my brother. "What is wrong with you? You're embarrassing me and Mom and Dad." My brother and sister started arguing, while my dad and Mr. Hellmark, who was a sad shell of a man, tried to calm the atmosphere. I went with Syl to get my coat as well and call us a cab because frankly, I was pissed off too. When Syl and I came back into the room, my brother and sister were full-blown alone arguing, and my Bill was standing and trying to interject. I think this was his first time ever seeing my brother and sister argue, because once those two start, there is no stopping them. Hellmark was crying, which she is prone to do if someone dares to raise their voice or reprimand her, and was dabbing her eyes with a long lace handkerchief, which I'm pretty sure was meant to be a tablecloth for a small table, because it was hilariously and obnoxiously large, like a prop from a play. You've been disrespectful this entire dinner. You have no respect for me, or my husband, or your family. My sister's voice was shrill to a pitch that would have made Angelica Pickles proud. You really want to talk about respect? We spent the last 2 hours dealing with seating charts and getting reprimanded for having a good time. And then she has the audacity to tell me and my wife that we should reconsider getting a child from Africa because people will know that it's not our real kid. Are you fucking kidding me, sister? Out of respect for you, I came here to a Christmas dinner full of strangers. Out of respect for my wife, I'm now leaving. Syl handed him his coat just as my phone rang. It was the cabbie. He was outside. I grabbed my glass to finish the whiskey, setting the glass down. My sister was complaining and arguing to my parents, while Bill comforted Hellmark, who was wailing how she just wanted a perfect Christmas with her new sons and daughters. Brother and Syl already stormed out, and I looked at the rest of the people who were watching the spectacle and quietly talking to each other. Merry Christmas, everyone, I said with a big smile. On my way out, I took an unopened bottle of cognac from their bar. Yes, I stole it. No, I'm not sorry. We needed it. Brother, Syl, and I got in the cab and drove to my parents' house, where we proceeded to get completely plastered and gorge ourselves on Christmas Eve leftovers. The combination of a stressful night and a lot of alcohol made Syl burst into tears at some point. I had never seen her cry, and it sucked. She's one of those quiet criers where she tries to hide it, and it breaks your heart seeing it. Brother and I comforted her the best we could, meaning Brother hugged her, and I kept refilling her drink. I suck at comforting people. My parents showed up like an hour after we did, and my mom rushed to Syl and gave her a big hug. Neither of my parents were thrilled with that day, and my mom had some serious words with my sister about how she acted after we left. Alas, as is common in my family when dealing with nutbags, they rug swept a lot of that night. Hellmark sent a very formal handwritten card of apology to my brother and Syl, and my sister apologized. Brother has never forgiven Hellmark for making Syl so upset about a subject that was still pretty raw, and he has refused to deal with her since. The few times he had, he mirrored her behavior in a way that was definitely Oscar-worthy. I am happy to say that a year later, Brother and Syl came back from one of the several trips to Africa with a little 3-year-old boy and love of my life. He's an amazing, bright, and fun little guy. Though he may not look like his mom and dad, he laughs and jokes and is just as clever as they are. When you see the three of them together, there is no doubt they are one kick-ass superhero family. So, suck it, Hellmark. Please don't hate me for this, but why does my empathetic heart kind of feel bad for Mill though? Okay, not feel bad per se, but I feel like Mill, even though she says wildly inappropriate things, and I felt way worse for her before the thing she said about a child needing to be the same skin color as their parents, because that is not okay. Adoptive parents are just as important as biological parents, regardless of what they look like or where they came from. And I want to make it loud and clear that I am not defending someone's racist comments. However, I really do feel like this Mill has good intentions. She's just insanely eccentric and likely has some sort of personality disorder. I don't mean to air my dirty laundry, but I kind of want to justify why I think this way. And the reason I have a tinge of pity for this woman is because my own mother is the exact same way. My mom is so cringe, is so out of touch with reality, doesn't know when to stop talking, unintentionally says extremely inappropriate things, is the most extra person I know, and her emotional and mental maturity is of a teenage girl. But my mom is borderline and has trauma. She is, though, genuinely a good person, is so amazing with kids, and really would do anything for anyone. But she just says the wrong things very often, and for some reason doesn't have the capacity to pick up on social cues of discomfort. I have explained boundaries to my mother so many times, but she just doesn't get it. Literally, my mom genuinely does not know that she has said something offensive until someone makes an audible shocked noise or tells her so. I am honestly like the brother-in-law when he's like, "Mom, stop it." So I just feel like Mill is the same way as my mom. She's mentally immature and is overcompensating because she's so broken inside. And if I didn't have a mother exactly like this woman, I probably wouldn't feel bad for her. So I totally understand if you don't. I'm also just going off my own experience with someone that acts this way, and I could be completely wrong about Mill. She really could just be a delusional narcissist, but I just don't get those evil vibes from her like I do with some of the other Mills we've read about. But anyways, please try not to hate me for playing devil's advocate. And this OP has a couple more stories regarding Hellmark, so let me know if you'd like to hear some more and I can read them for you guys next week. But that is all for me today. I hope you enjoyed this Just No Mill series, and I will see you guys tomorrow for day 6 of Brewmas. Bye!